Bec again, and we're back here to do a tutorial that we've seen on the Real Housewives of Cross Stitch. We're going to do some coffee tea dyeing for the first time. So we thought that we'd film it. We're just doing it on Aida. We're going to follow their tutorial, how they do it, or close enough to it, from memory, because we've watched it a while ago. And yeah, so we're just going to go for it and see where we end up. So as I said, the video the tutorial that we're using is the Real Housewives, and that'll be underneath this video, so you can scoot over there and watch what they did. But we have gone out and we've got ourselves I've got to do some dyeing and some heat dyeing and stuff like that. So I thought, well, I'll go out and get myself a pot. I'll go out and get myself a portable power source for the stove. And so we've got that all set up. Off camera, we've boiled the water because we figured that you didn't want to watch all of that.
No,
so yeah, so we're
a pot boil.
Yeah.
It's pretty exciting.
That's exciting stuff. So yeah, so basically we've got all that going, and now we're going to add the tea and coffee into it, and then we'll put our fabric in. It'll cook for about 45 minutes, maybe a little bit less, depending how dark we want it. Because Chelsea and Priscilla said that they like their fabric really dark.
Yes, they do.
I don't know. I'm just going to try it and see where we end up. So as I said, we'll follow their tutorial and we'll see what we end up with the Aida fabric. We've got the white fabric, which is over here. So mine's there, and that's Bec's is all crispy new. That I pulled mine out to see how it creases, and you know, I was playing with it and all the rest of it, because as you know, we're new to cross stitch and we don't know how these fabrics work and all the rest of it. So 14 count Aida we both have. We've got what they call a fat quarter. Once we've done all this, I will get my serger out and we'll serge around the outside as well. But first of all, we are going to turn the camera down so you can see what we're up to, and we are going to get the tea and coffee in. Alrighty, so you can see here that we've got the induction plate. This is just, yeah, we picked this up from a local electrical store. We got the biggest pot we could find. Because we do sewing retreats and stuff like that, this pot will come in handy. But as I was saying, including the hot plate as well. So yeah, it'll come in handy. But this pot will just get set aside and only used for dyeing and stuff like that. But if you're chasing a pot this big and you're here in Australia, big W, 20 bucks.
Yeah.
And the hot plate was a Philips one, and I bartered with them and got it for cheaper. What did I get that? It was 115. I got it for down from 135 or something it was. We're just using an Audi coffee, an instant coffee. It's like $3 for a big jar of it, and we're going to just I'm just going to use the cap because that's about 1/3 of a cup, and that's what I'm going to put in. Just move that out of the way. Get rid of the water because we are in the sewing room. That's the beauty of it. I didn't have to go into the kitchen. I live in my house is quite dark, and Bec's house is not big enough.
No, I've got the little tiny kitchen.
Yeah, and yeah, so basically, so we're going to put 1/3 of a cup in that, and Bec's going to start putting some tea bags in, and we're going to put about 8 tea bags in. So I'm just going to set that aside for a second and help her with that. And just chuck them in.
Just chuck them in
as they are. And apparently you just want to be careful that you don't break the tea bags or anything like that. Alright, this is fun. This is like going back to kindy.
It is. How many do we have so far? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
7,
8.
Oh, we'll just empty the jar out. There's 10. So we'll go 10.
There we go.
Alrighty, so that's all in there. We're just going to give that a little bit of a whoosh around, which I had. They're there.
Oh, here they are.
Yep, there they are. So we've just got some wooden spoons. We'll just give that a gentle stir. And I don't know if you can see that. It's already changing colour. This is just on a simmer at the moment because we'd already brought it up to a boil, and it's quite noisy. And these tea bags that I've got, I didn't want to have them in the boiling water because they do have a little bit of a tendency of being... yeah, they sort of, they're Tetley, they're good tea, and this is extra strong, so I didn't want to have it boiling in the water because it was boiling pretty rapidly.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah, with this little induction thing, so you can see there that is going really dark.
That is
almost
dark,
almost like, what is it? Boil and trouble. Double, boil and trouble. What the witches say?
Yeah, with your witch's brew.
Yeah, with my witch's brew, so yeah. Want a cup of tea? Just scoop it out. It's got nothing else in it. The pot was clean. Alrighty, so you can see there that it's actually got really dark. Like you can't even see. Yeah. So we're going to put that in there, and then I'm going to add the coffee in while you just give it a gentle stir. And I'll just sprinkle that over. And that's gone like super dark.
Whoa.
Wow, that's pretty full on, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah,
it smells good.
Yeah, it does. The craft room smells awesome right now. As I said, this is the first time that we've ever done this, so it is, you know, new to us, and that's why we wanted to film it, because we did want to say, you know, and share with you our journey, and this is part of our journey. Alrighty, that's pretty dark.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm going to pop mine in.
Okay.
Alright, so if you can just... So, Chelsea says you just pop it in and then just push it down. And then we're going to bake it in the oven at about 200. But I've got a fan-forced oven, so I'm going to actually reduce that heat down a bit.
Oh, yes, that's a good idea.
Yeah, so I'll hold that
please.
and then you'll put these in. We've probably got a little bit too much water for how much fabric we've got. But I've got a 16 count there. I might chuck that in too.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, righty.
And I'll just snip a corner off it, and then we'll know that that's a 16 count, because we're still struggling to tell the difference between the two.
Yeah. That's right. Okay.
Or actually, I might dye some of my Monoco.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So I've got, you would have seen on our floss tube, I've got a heap of Monoco in from 123 Stitch. Okay. Pop it in.
In it goes.
And the Aida is just like, it's going down straight away.
It has. It's just sunk to the bottom.
Yeah. So, and it's just on a simmer. I'll just pull it up just to show you what it looks like so far. So you can see there that it's already started to change colour. So that's like a calico colour. The camera's not picking it up real well, but it's like a calico colour.
It is,
so
yeah.
So I'm pretty happy with that. That's awesome. All right, I'm going to put the Monoco in. So this is 28 count. It's the same as what Chelsea and Priscilla used.
Down it goes.
Yep. Give it a good push. Give it a bit of a stir. Gently without breaking the bags.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. All right, so we're going to leave that in there for about 45 minutes. So we'll come back and we'll show you what it's like. We'll pull it out, and then it'll go into the oven. Okay. So this is fun. I'm loving it.
This is exciting.
It is exciting.
Okay.
All right, it's all submerged.
Okay.
You finished playing?
Finished playing. Okay.
All right, well, we've put the lid back on that. It's just going to be simmering away for the next 45 minutes. Alrighty. Okay, so it's been on for 45 minutes. We're just about to take the lid off. We gave it a bit of a stir every now and again. We were sitting beside it because we're in the craft room. We've eaten our lunch, which was quite tasty. And you can see here, this is the Aida. It's come up really dark. So now what's going to happen is we're going to take that out and we're going to let it drain a little bit. And I'll probably try and get some of these bags out. So, yeah, and that is the 28 Monoco. So, we're going to take that all out and let it drip off a little bit. And then we're going to put it on to, you can probably see that there. We've got some trays here, and they've got parchment paper on it, or baking paper, depending which part of the world you live in.
Yep.
It's either a baking tray or a cookie sheet, depending where you live. And because we've only got small amounts here, we don't really need big bits. So just watch yourself there, Bec. I'm just going to put that over to here. Just spread that out a little bit, and we'll let it cool a bit, and then we'll crunch it a bit and get it into the... I'm just going to grab this lid.
Yep. Oh, that's a good idea.
And just pop that on there and get some of that water out. Just give that a bit of a squeeze. Because we are in the craft room, we're just trying to limit the amount of water on that. So yeah.
Okay,
Might just put both Aidas on the one.
okay.
Just swish that up a bit. So we just had that on a gentle simmer. And this does actually simmer quite nicely. And you can see how dark that is. It's actually probably a little bit darker in real life than it is
On the camera.
on the camera, definitely.
I think so.
Alrighty, so I'm just going to pop the lid back on that, and then I'll move the camera. Put those there. Okay, so you can see there we've just got it on there and it's still a little bit hot, but I'm just going to sort of crunch it up a little bit and hopefully that will give us some dark little spots on it. And then we've just got the Monoco over here and it cools down pretty quick. Like I'm touching that, it's just coming out of the pot and it's cooling down quite quick. So crunch that up a little bit so it gets a little bit mottled. All right, so we're going to go and place that in the oven and we'll pull it out and we'll show you what it looks like. And we just used what we had on hand as well, which is really good. So, you know, rather than go out and buy specialised tea or anything like that, that was just tea bags that we had here. It was the coffee that we had here. We have since been in the kitchen while that was brewing away. And we have found a few things that we are going to try, some different things. So you'll have to stay tuned. We'll have a couple more videos, I'm sure.
Yeah,
so,
we're going to do some experimenting.
Yes, the mad scientists have come out in it. So, yeah, we're going to have a little bit of a play around and see what we can't create. Alrighty, so let's go and get them into the oven.
Let's go.
Alrighty, so we've just pulled them out of the oven. They're cooled down. We just let them cool. We had them in for about almost an hour and then I just let it cool in the oven and we've just sort of started opening it up and having a look and you can see that's looking nice and crusty. So on one side it's lighter.
Yeah,
and then you'll get more mottled on the other side.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, that looks so awesome.
So having the fan force oven, it dried it out really well. So you can see there we've got some really good mottling. We'll give them a really good iron. And then we can show you what they look like once they've got all the creases out. But they look really good. So that's the Aida. And this is the Monoco, which is really, really good.
That is awesome.
So I'm really happy with that. And again, you've got the lighter side.
Yeah.
Or you've got the darker side, so and you can sew on either side. It just depends what you want to do. So but I'm liking that one there, and that is going to look good, I reckon, for my for that one for the Mia that I wanted to do with the Halloween one. I was born with Halloween in my heart, so yeah, that one should look good. Probably a little bit too dark there because it might have been sitting up just a little bit higher. I got a fan force oven, so that makes it a little bit more difficult. Yeah. And I can't turn that off, so
you don't have that option.
No, I don't have that option. So we're going to give them a really good press. Okay, so we've just pressed it all, and you can see the mottling on both of them, both slightly different. And now all we've got to do is overlock them. So you can see there, that looks like a little ghost face in it.
It does.
It's perfect for Halloween then, isn't it?
Absolutely.
And that's the other side. It's not as modelled. So this is the side that was facing up in the oven. And you can see Bex now. So, yeah, you look like you've got a bee there. It looks like look, there's a couple of eyes. Oh. So, yeah, they should look good once they've got all the things out. And this is the Monoco, and it's shrunk quite a bit. It feels like it's shrunk. It's got a little bit stiffer. Yeah. Obviously, as I play with it, it'll get a little bit better as well. But it's dark. Even though I flattened it down as the video said to do, it's still got some, must have had some high points in there. But then again, my oven's probably a little bit hotter. I did turn it down to it like it was. I realised after I said when it was had to be on 150 that was Fahrenheit that they were talking about, so I did the conversion and it was only like 93 degrees equal to 200 Fahrenheit, so I turned it down and I sort of opened the door, and it was only like the things had only been in there for about 3 minutes, so I opened that door, let some of the hot air out, and made sure that they were nice and flat, and I swapped them around every 15 minutes, and I had it in about 45 minutes. I had it in for. Next time, I probably won't have this one in. It just didn't look like it was doing much. And it was probably in that last 15 minutes that I got that real dark.
But it is darker than the other two.
Yeah, so,
Aida.
yeah, but I'm pretty happy with it, how it's turned out for our first go.
Oh, I think so.
And we've got some ideas to do some other stuff. And the Aida's got a lot softer.
Yeah, it has.
Compared to when we put it in, it feels a lot softer, so it's going to be nice to stitch in hand.
Yeah, that'll be good for you.
Yeah, so Bec doesn't like to stitch in hand.
I like the hoop.
I can't use the hoop. But then you haven't tried stitching in hand either. Not for 3 stitches, that doesn't count. That doesn't count, does it? No.
Fine.
3 stitches does not count as stitching in hand, I'm sorry.
Fine, I will do some stitching later down the track.
Yeah. It's quite easy.
In hand.
It's quite easy. I just find it easier to manipulate and move around.
Yeah.
So these are going to be for our Halloween stitch along. So we're pretty happy with it. If you haven't tried tea dye or coffee
tea dye,
coffee tea dye, give it a go and see how you go.
It was really fun.
It was.
Well.
It was a lot of fun. Yeah, just watching the changes and all the rest of it. It turned out really well.
Yep.
We're pretty happy with it. And yeah, we're going to dry a few different other things that we've been discussing. So you'll have to watch this space for some more videos and some different techniques as well.
Yep.
So incorporating other dyeing techniques into it as well. So see how we go.
I've got another one idea in mind as well.
Cool, nice. Alrighty, well that's it for us today. Thank you very much for joining us. If you're new here, hit that like button and the subscribe button and the little bell icon beside it, and that way you won't miss out on any future posts. And for those that don't know, my name's Nicole.
And I'm Bec.
And we will see you next time. Bye for now.